Good morning, sports fans. What's going on? Happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a blessed weekend. Let's jump right into the college football little recap. We got Florida against Missouri. Florida, edged them out 23-6. They were pretty much in the lead the whole game. Uh, wasn't really tested. I mean, at halftime, I think it was a 10-point game, but Florida had it really the whole time. LSU Ole Miss, I actually watched most of this game. Joe Burrow, probably my Heisman runner. I mean, after the game Jalen had last night, breaking them boys back from 25 down, you can't knock him. But, I mean, it seems like every time LSU's on the ropes, need to score some points. Here comes Joe Burrow. Threw for almost 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. LSU's defense looked a little iffy. I mean, Mississippi, Ole Miss, their running back did have over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns on them. So, looking, to the playoffs, got to keep an eye on that. But LSU can score with anybody in the country. LSU, Ohio State, they can. Obviously, Alabama, they've already outscored them. But LSU, that's a good win for them. I still feel like they're going to probably be the number one team going into the playoff, even after the SEC championship. So we'll see. Ohio State, they beat Rutgers pretty easily. Justin Fields had 305 yards on only 15 completions and 4 touchdowns. So J.K. Dobbins had 2 touchdowns on the ground, only 89 yards rushing. Clemson, Wake Forest. People kind of thought Wake Forest would give Clemson run for their money. I didn't see it. They smoked them. Trevor Lawrence 2 for 270, 4 touchdowns. ETN 121 on the ground and a tutty, and T Higgins 3 touchdowns on 4 catches. That's crazy. Georgia, Georgia edged Auburn out. So to think Georgia's probably gonna stay in that top four, maybe especially with Tua going down. We're gonna have to see, but I think Georgia, or maybe even Oregon, moves up. They did beat Arizona pretty good last night. Herbert threw for 330 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like I said, Tua got hurt. He threw for 250, 2 touchdowns. Alabama, they beat Mississippi State by 31. The backup, Mac Jones, I think it is. We're gonna have to see. I think some people wasn't even expecting Tua to be out there. Why risk it against Mississippi State 4-5 team? They did. He went out there. He got hurt. Same injury that ended Bo Jackson's career. I'm not saying it's going to do the same for Tua, but it is. He's had injury after injury after injury, whether it's the ankle, the knee, all that. It just keeps piling up, and it's time for him. Take a step back, really get healthy for that team and just for himself in general. Um, Utah, they keep winning. They beat UCLA by what's that, 46 points. So I think Oregon and Utah are on the route to clash. So I think the winner of that one might get in. They might sneak in over that Georgia that Georgia team or that Alabama team. That'll watch the Pac-12. I think they might give them some respect this year. They got both of them ranked in the top 10. So we're gonna have to see how it plays out the rest of the year. A kind of an upset. I didn't think Minnesota was really, they did beat Penn State, but I didn't really think Penn State or Minnesota were going to be in the playoff, which they're most likely not. Minnesota lost to Iowa yesterday, 23-19. I mean, I like Iowa at Iowa. I mean, Iowa hasn't been giving up that many points all season, so I like them. Penn State edged out Indiana. They beat them by 7. I think that was closer, than everybody expected as well. Like I said about Jalen Hurts, and he brought Oklahoma back from 25 down to win that game 34-31 to knock off Baylor, undefeated season. They're done. They're not gonna get in the playoff. So Jalen Hurts threw for 4 touchdowns, almost 300 yards on 30 completions. Wisconsin beat Nebraska. Michigan smoked Michigan State. Notre Dame, they beat the brakes off Navy 52-20. Whew. Cincinnati edged out South Florida 20-17. Memphis, they keep winning 45-27. We'll have to see how that plays out. They're only 9-1 in the American. Texas, man, they've had an up and down season, kind of head scratcher. They're 6-4. Just lost to Iowa State last night. Game winning field goal, actually, matter of fact. So, they've had an up and down season. Everybody thought Texas was back, but, they're still kind of struggling. Another guy I think I should be in the Heisman is the guy from Oklahoma, the running back from Oklahoma State, Chuba Hubbard. Man, Kansas State, they're 7-3, beat Kansas, but Hubbard, man, this is like, I think they said this is ninth 100-yard game. Every time I look at the box score, that man's got over 100 yards, 200 yards. He's an animal, man. Kansas State took another loss. They lost to West Virginia this weekend. App State pulled it out against Georgia State. That game was tied at one point. They pulled it out. That's most of the college football games, though. It was a pretty exciting. I can't complain about Saturday. It was pretty good college football. Can't complain. Nice little recap. Like I said, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. Probably Joe Burrow's up here. Jalen Hurts like a little down there because of the one loss to Kansas State. But man, I think Joe Burrow is give it to him because he keeps winning, keeps throwing for 400 yards, keeps winning. He's a winner, man. He is. I didn't really have faith in him again in the year after last year coming in this year, but he proved me wrong. So that's most of the college football recap. Top 25, a little something. My top 4 going into next week. I don't know. I got LSU. I got LSU. They're probably gonna keep Ohio State. I think I like Clemson a little bit more at 2. LSU, Clemson, Ohio State. They're probably going to put Georgia in there. If Oregon wins out or Utah wins out, I feel like it's only right they throw one of them in there. Florida will probably move up after this week, probably back to 10. Oklahoma's probably going to jump to 8, 7. They're going to jump. So, that 4th spot's still up for grabs, I feel like. LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, as long as they win out, they're going to have those 3 spots. And that 4th spot, it could be anybody, whether it's Georgia. Let me know what y'all think. Who y'all think is going to be Georgia, Oregon, Utah, Oklahoma? Is it going to be a 2-loss team this year? I don't think so. It would be crazy if it was. That's my college football little recap for this week. Moving on to NFL. Love NFL. NFL Sunday, Fantasy Sunday today. 2-8 with my fantasy team. But, we can still ruin some people's season. Handing out some L's. Come back better next year. But let's start off with the Cowboys-Lions. No Stafford again this week. Vertebrae in his back. I got the Cowboys. I think their offense probably going to keep rolling. Dak and company, Zeke. Feed Zeke. I don't really think the Lions' defense is that great. Hey, but you never know, man. You never know football. But I think I like the Cowboys in that one. Another 1 o'clock game, Jags, Colts. I'm pretty sure they said they're starting Foles this week. Nick Foles is back after the clavicle injury. I think Brissett is starting. I like Jacksonville's defense a little bit better, so I'm gonna take Jacksonville with Foles. Hopefully Foles comes back and plays well. Look for Chark on my fantasy team. I think I like Brissett though as well. I just like the Jags defense a little more than I do the Colts defense. I'm gonna go Jags. Bills, Dolphins. The Bills are coming off a loss to the Browns. I think the Bills are gonna be, I think they're gonna be looking for a win. I think Josh Allen's gonna get it done. And the boys, Singletary, Gore, John Brown, Cole Beasley. I like the Bills defense as well to bounce back against the Dolphins. Even though the Dolphins are playing better, they are playing way better than they were at the beginning of the season. I still like the Bills. Broncos, Vikings, I think it's at Minnesota. Yeah, it's in Minnesota. Thielen's out again, but I still like the Vikings. Dalvin Cook on the ground. He's one of the best running backs in the league right now, rushing-wise. 203 carries for 991 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's going off. I like the Vikings in that one. The Saints, Bucks. Saints coming off a real head-scratcher, man. A real head-scratcher against the Falcons last week at home. But I think they're gonna bounce back. Drew Brees is gonna bounce back. All of them are gonna bounce back. Kamara, Michael Thomas, all those guys are gonna bounce back. The Saints are gonna bounce back after only their second loss of the season. Jameis, he can throw the ball, but he also throws the ball to the other team a good amount of times. So let's go with the Saints in that one. Jets, Redskins. Whew. 2-7 versus 1-8. I don't even know. It's a hard game. Jets are playing pretty decent. They did just beat the Giants, didn't they, for their second win? Defense looking out not that good, but the Redskins quarterback play and just, I want to say Redskins. I don't even. Who y'all got? I don't even know. The Redskins or the Jets? I think Darius Geis is back. Case Keenum or Haskins. Man, that's a hard game. Jets, Redskins. Man, I don't even know. Okay, the next game, I'm going to go Redskins. They get 2 wins. Good Lord. Falcons, Panthers. I think it's Panthers all day. I don't think McCaffrey, man, they can't stop McCaffrey. Whether you're throwing them the ball, handing it off to him, McCaffrey's an animal. Panthers need to win. They're 5-4. They can still probably, I don't know if they can win the division. They definitely could, but I like the Panthers. And the next 1 o'clock game, Texans. This is actually the last one. The 1 o'clock game, Texans, Ravens. Battle of the QBs, Deshaun and Lamar. They battled when they were back in college, Clemson versus Louisville. I think it was 2 versus 3. Something like that, 3 versus 5. Some huge game. They both went off. Clemson and Deshaun actually won it. Deshaun Magic. I'm going to take the Ravens in this one just because the defense. I think the Texans did pick up Vernon Hargraves, off the waiver. I'm pretty sure, I think. But I still like the Ravens. I think the Ravens' defense is a little better. Might get a stop or two that they need. I think I like the Ravens. But you can never count out Deshaun Watson and the boys, man. I just don't think their defense can get enough stops, man. I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. For starting off with the 4:05 game, the Cardinals-Niners with the spread. Spread went down to 9.5. It was like 11. They did play a couple weeks ago. They only beat them by, I think, 3. 49ers do have injuries. Cardinals are playing better. I'm still going to take the Niners. Just because their defense is really good. Cardinals playing better, though. So watch out. Bengals, Raiders. Not sure if AJ Green's back. But I like the Raiders, man. I like what they're doing. I like their offense. They've continued to win games. I don't think anybody really expected them to be where they are right now, 5-4. Josh Jacobs is having a pretty good rookie season. I like him. I like the Raiders in this one all day, every day. I don't know if Finley starting or Dalton, but I don't think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Bengals are 0-9. So, give me the Raiders. The Pats, Eagles. I feel like the Eagles are hitting their stride. They were 3-4, I think, or like 0-4, 2-4. They're 5-4 now. Pats, but every time the Pats, start facing adversity, that's when they get better. That's when Tom Brady plays better. That's when the whole team better. Belichick coaches better. I feel like the Eagles, man, the Eagles are playing really good, man. I just don't want to count the Eagles out, but I want to say Pats because Tom Brady and, Belichick. I'm going to go Pats. But watch out. It's a close one. Eagles are playing way better than they were. The 8 o'clock game tonight, we got the Bears and the Rams. Man, those teams, they're both kind of having disappointing seasons. We expected the Rams and the Bears to be, not 4-5 and 5-4 right now. Probably closer to, 8-1, 9-0, stuff like that. Defense hasn't really been what we thought they were going to be on both sides. The Bears still playing pretty good, but the Bears' offense is just atrocious. It's looking so bad right now. It's looking terrible. I don't even know. Bears? Rams. I'm going to go Rams, man. They need to win. They got so much talent. So much talent. They got to put it together. They got to come in and get that win, man. At home, got to. They have to. Derek Goff, Cooper Kupp, Todd Gurley. Where's Todd Gurley been all year, man? Come on, step up. It's time to do something. Let's go. Let's get it. Monday night game, we got the Chiefs Chargers. Chargers always play them tough, play them super tough. But with Mahomes being back, Chargers do have Melvin Gordon. He's been killing things the past 2-3 weeks. He kind of got off to a very slow start, but here lately he's been killing it, man. He's been killing it. So watch out for the Chargers run game. Chiefs kind of weak there, but I just don't think they can keep up with the Chiefs scoring. So I like the Chiefs Monday Night Football 8:15. I like the Chiefs. Those are my picks though. My boy Logan Dew, not on this week. He had a wedding to go to up in Charlotte, so it's just me. Let me give a shout out to his uncle actually, Daryl. Shout out Daryl. Shout out, he wanted a shout out, so I shout out him out. But those are my picks. Those are my recaps for this week. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know y'all picks. Let me know who y'all top 4 in college football is. Let me know some of y'all picks for the NFL from a fantasy standpoint, standpoint. Are y'all in the playoffs in fantasy? Let me know. Give me some feedback, man. Give me some advice. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a blessed day.